Hey, this is Pastor James coming here midweek to share a scripture with you that I pray that would lift you up and help you to take heart. Now, this is something that I really firmly believe. God is preparing your heart. God is doing things in your heart, preparing you for what God has in your plans for the future. Now, particularly, I want you to think about Easter. And don't mean to make you anxious or nervous. Are you ready for Easter? Is your heart ready for Easter? Do you think that you have prepared yourself in a way that you're ready to experience Easter in a new way? Now, here is a scripture that actually tells us a lot about what God was doing to prepare people's hearts for Easter back at the first Easter. It says in John chapter 10, verse 40, Jesus went back across the Jordan to the place where John had been baptized at first, and he stayed there. And many people came to him. John didn't do any miraculous signs, they said. This is a quote they're saying. But everything John said about this man was true. Many believed in Jesus there. Now, here is what is really helpful to see in the scriptures, this little window. First of all, Jesus goes off to the wilderness. He was prepared for the big moments in his ministry by doing specific things. He would go up a mountain to pray. He would spend time going back to the very place where he was baptized and where he first met John the Baptist, at least in his adulthood, there by the river. Jesus was actually doing things that would prepare himself for the very first Easter. And similarly, we can do the same. We can find moments in our life to prepare our hearts, to prepare our minds, to take time just stepping out into the wilderness or stepping out into nature and just allowing ourselves to breathe deep and reflect and get ready for what God is going to do. And remember, Jesus was going to the greatest battle, the greatest struggle, one of the hardest moments of all of human history. He was going in to this space, and he needed to be prepared for it, and we should too. The second thing is this, and I love it. God prepares the hearts and minds of people to see Jesus years in advance. Now think about that. Jesus had 3 years of ministry. All of those things had happened since his baptism when his ministry started, where he was at. But those people actually had not encountered Jesus or known who he was in his entirety until 3 years later. See, God had prepared their hearts and minds over the course of 3 years to finally discover what they discovered in this passage we just read, that Jesus is God, that Jesus is who John the Baptist had said Jesus was, that the truth of Jesus' salvation is real and that we can hold on to it. That is what they had discovered, and it had been something that God had prepared them for discovering many years in advance. So the similar thing happens in your life. God's preparing you. He's been preparing you for 3 years before this and 30 years or 10 years or wherever you're at in your life, and he's going to continue preparing you for what's to come. So the good news is, if you're not ready for Easter, you can get ready by getting prepared, spending some time out, do deliberate things to prepare yourself. And the other thing is, don't worry, God has already been preparing you, and God has been planting the seeds in your life so that you could receive what God is doing now. God bless you. I love spending these times with you, getting ready for what God is going to do. I pray that you're excited about the coming days, about the Easter celebration that we're having on the lawn at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock in person and online. We are so thankful that we as a church are entering into this Easter season actually dreaming of what God is going to do. Imagine all of the people who have been receiving God's preparation in their hearts for years and years and years. And all you need to do is just say, hey, you know what? Come on down. Come be a part of this. And God's done all the rest of the work. And so, again, invite people to this. Guaranteed, there will be so many people that will have life-changing, wonderful experiences as a result of this Easter. And I want to thank you for all you've done to support this mission of God here in Paso Robles, this beautiful vision that God has had of a church, which is to care for people and to share the goodness of God in every way possible and imaginable. God bless you. I look forward to Easter. I hope you're ready because I think I'm getting there. Take care.